Seth Rollins lost a lot of respect from the WWE fans. He even said this about Dean Ambrose. He said what? Well, he said this. He said this! WWE's dirty way of competing with AEW. The Undertaker chose his WrestleMania 36 opponent. Don't worry, it's not this guy. Plus, Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman got signed by the WWE to do some important work. You see people, Seth Rollins is a very young, brave man. He keeps on defending the WWE even though he never really got a chance to shine. I respect Seth Rollins so much right now. Psych! Here's a Nia Jax video, enjoy. I bet you forgot about Nia Jax, haha, I didn't. My favorite wrestler. Got a new look.
Good morning, everybody.
Your people so soft and lazy.
The ultimate farmer.
Little naive farm boy.
Country style.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Greatness of Wrestling. As always, the only wrestling show you should be watching because that's the only wrestling show that doesn't suck. I want to start this video by talking about Seth Rollins. So it's not a secret that current WWE product is horrible. I can admit it, you can admit it, your mama can admit it. Even Vince McMahon knows that deep down inside. 2 out of 3 falls rule makes no sense whatsoever. The pay-per-views don't excite us anymore. And the wild card rule ruined everything. So in my opinion, everyone should admit that current WWE's product is not perfect. Well, except for Seth Rollins. And this is where things get interesting. Before Stomping Ground, Seth Rollins tweeted, "Best pro wrestling on the planet. Period." I thought he was teasing an Eva Marie return, but after the pay-per-view he tweeted, doubling down, "Best pro wrestling on the planet. See that cruiserweight triple threat? And that's just one night. One match amongst the many. Find anyone else alive who does what I do as well as I do, as often as I do. You can't." Well, Seth Rollins got exactly what he asked for. Will Ospreay tweeted, "I'm alive." He basically said that I'm as good as you or maybe even better. Seth Rollins replied, "I'm sorry little guy, we already have a better version of you here and he just won his first US title tonight. Congrats Ricochet. Keep working hard though, buddy." He may come across as a bit of a douche, but then again, these two are wrestlers, I get it, it's fun. Will Ospreay tweeted, "Fact of the day, Will Ospreay wrestled more matches in 2019 than Seth Rollins. Catch up, little guy." And this is where things got very, very bad, and this is where people lost a lot of respect for Seth Rollins because he came across very, very douchey. I mean, if you want to talk numbers, we can compare bank accounts too. P.S. That's counting a month off with a broken back, buddy. What kind of response is that? Yeah, you might be a better wrestler, but I make more money. Dollar, dollar, dollar. Is Seth Rollins secretly trying to tell us that Shane McMahon is the best professional wrestler of all time? I mean, he is. Obviously the best in the world. But here you go, people. The more money you make, the better pro wrestler you are. I know it's not what he means, but after you just wrestled in WWE Super Showdown, should you really, brag about money? I don't think so. And look people, there's nothing wrong with Seth Rollins believing that WWE is the greatest wrestling promotion of all time. It might as well be. All of us watch the WWE, it's the biggest wrestling promotion ever. But to act like there's nothing wrong with the WWE at the moment is foolish. I get it. Seth Rollins wants to be the new Becky Lynch on Twitter. The difference is, he's not very good at it. Let's be honest. I know he was stupid enough to cheat on his girlfriend and send interesting pictures, but really, bragging about money. But that's not it. Seth Rollins' extravaganza continues as he criticized Dean Ambrose for leaving and talking crap about the WWE. Seth Rollins talked about how Dean Ambrose gave everything he had to the WWE, but at the end of the day, he took his ball and went home, or at least elsewhere. Seth Rollins also criticized Dean Ambrose for talking crap about the WWE because it's the company that gave him everything. I really don't understand Seth Rollins. It's easy to talk about how WWE is the greatest wrestling promotion of all time. Dean Ambrose should not criticize the WWE. Well, you see, the difference between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose is that Dean Ambrose had to do this while Seth Rollins was pushed the entire time he was in the WWE, like seriously. Since his debut, he was always in a very important position, you know, the WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, Universal champion, in the Shield. While Seth Rollins was facing Triple H at WrestleMania, Dean Ambrose was in a kickoff show against Baron Corbin. Look people, I know that Seth Rollins is an amazing wrestler, but he cannot really say that when he's the top guy in the WWE. Of course he's going to be happy. Tell how great WWE is to EC3. Do I even need to mention the fact how great of a wrestler Will Ospreay is? You know, sometimes I appreciate the fact that WWE is terrible at the moment because I introduced myself to so much wrestling outside of the WWE. For example, a couple of days ago, I've seen Ricochet versus Will Ospreay for the first time ever. My perspective on wrestling changed completely, people. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree with Seth Rollins or you disagree with our boy Seth Rollins? And by the way, Daniel Bryan is my favorite wrestler right now. When Seth Rollins said that you cannot find a better wrestler than Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan went on Twitter and liked all the tweets of people listing wrestlers that are better than Seth Rollins. You gotta love this man. Welcome everybody to another episode of Weird Wrestling Stuff, where we look at weird wrestling stuff because that stuff's weird. In today's episode, I want to talk about weird YouTube's thumbnails. More specifically, weird romance YouTube thumbnails or something along those lines. Take a look. Whoa! Did you see that? Whoa! Did you miss it? Or whoa! You get the point, right? So let's take a look at the first one. Love story, Roman Reigns and Paige. You people have some weird fantasies. 1 million views special, Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman. Can you like imagine that? You know, can you, I don't want to get into it, but can you imagine that? Alexa is small, Strowman is big, you get the point. Can you imagine that? Whoa! 2000k plus views, so he decided to do emotional love story, crying emoji. Paige broke up with Roman Reigns, people! Ooh, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Will we see a video on a certain website? My man Roman Reigns got a new girlfriend. Is that Lana? Is that Lana? I also love the fact that he's focused on the Universal Championship more than on his girlfriend, I assume. Wow. Whoa! You see people, Daniel Bryan is not the best husband ever. The guy doesn't even eat meat. Brie Bella had enough of it. So she just, you know, put her feet on Daniel Bryan and she's ready for Randy Orton. She's, well, I guess you can say she's ready for the Viper. People, I'm not saying that Randy Orton's and Brie Bella's relationship doesn't have any problems. Oh my god, what am I looking at? Randy Orton is looking at Paige as if he wants to do something with her. But that's not it, people. Paige is not single as well, people. She's with Dean Ambrose. Look at that. La love. So, today's episode of Weird Wrestling Stuff, because that stuff's weird, was weird. WWE's weird way of competing with AEW, or is it? So basically, WWE are going to stream Evolve. Tyler Breeze is going to compete at Evolve, and basically, like I've said, they are going to stream the event on the WWE network. So this is where the issue starts. So basically, AEW are going to have a charity show on the same day, but they announced it earlier. So AEW announces a charity show, and WWE decides to compete. Kenny Omega got very angry about that, you know, he went in. He criticized WWE for taking all the money with events like WWE Super Showdown, Crown Jewel, and then they are doing a charity, but WWE decided to compete with them. He also said that the competition doesn't seem to look very fun. He then deleted the tweet, I don't know why, because he kinda has a point, let's be honest. However, WWE don't necessarily agree with criticism because they claim that they had this date way before AEW announced it. Basically, Triple H said that it has no intentions of competing with AEW, and they already had this planned before WrestleMania 35. I don't know if I believe that, seriously. I really have no idea. Maybe, you know, we will never know. That's the worst part. We will never know. But that's not a good look for the WWE, let's be honest.
Brock Lesnar has a daughter named Maya.
The Undertaker is back and he helped Roman Reigns. This is the most WWE thing you can imagine. So we are getting Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules pay-per-view. This rivalry is so uninteresting that they needed The Undertaker, an 80-year-old man. I'm just kidding, I'm excited to see The Undertaker. You know, Undertaker versus Bill Goldberg is not necessarily the last memory I want to have of The Undertaker. No, but that's besides the point. The reason why Undertaker is in this rivalry, well, basically to boost the ratings, of course, and to help Roman Reigns to make this rivalry a little bit more interesting, but The Undertaker already chose his WrestleMania 36 opponent. Guess who it is? Shane McMahon again. I'm just kidding. I know you were... I'm not gonna do that ever again. Promise. The Undertaker's WrestleMania 36 opponent is rumored to be Drew McIntyre because that's what The Undertaker wanted. Good. Very good. And according to Sports Illustrated, WWE decided to already build this rivalry very early to kinda, you know, maybe have a reason for The Undertaker to fight Drew McIntyre. If that's actually going to happen, maybe WWE really do look at Drew McIntyre as one of the main stars in the WWE. From now, it doesn't seem like it, you know. He was Dolph Ziggler's manager, not a manager, but basically lackey. Now he's Shane McMahon's lackey. They really ruined Drew McIntyre, people. Like, seriously, he's Bobby Lashley type of guy to me right now. You gotta have talent to ruin that. But let me know in the comments below, are you excited for The Undertaker versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36?
Brock Lesnar has a daughter named Maya.
And we got some exciting news today. Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman are back. Back in the day, Eric Bischoff was a general manager for Monday Night Raw and Paul Heyman was a general manager for SmackDown. One created ECW, one was a big reason why WCW succeed. So what's next? WWE names Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff executive directors of Raw and SmackDown Live. Except this time, Paul Heyman is going to be for Raw and Eric Bischoff for SmackDown. WWE has named Paul Heyman as executive director of Monday Night Raw and Eric Bischoff as executive director of SmackDown Live. Newly created positions reporting directly to WWE chairman and COO Vince McMahon. So let me explain. Right now, basically everything needs to go through Vince. But because of this announcement, Eric Bischoff will be kinda the head of creative team of SmackDown, if I understood that correctly, and Paul Heyman is going to be the head of creative of Monday Night Raw. So you can kinda say that Eric Bischoff is going to be responsible for SmackDown storylines and Heyman is going to be responsible for Raw storylines. But don't get your hopes up. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything will change because just like it says in this announcement, everything needs to go through Vince in the end. So here's why it's bad. Eric Bischoff or Paul Heyman can have the greatest idea ever. This idea goes through Vince McMahon's filter and it becomes something that none of us actually want to see. But I'm excited since Vince McMahon probably respects Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman, so maybe he will listen. I'm glad that they actually are trying to do something about it. You know, even Vince McMahon and WWE realize that WWE's current product is horrible. So I'm glad we are getting some changes. It's kind of interesting how why is it not Triple H? I don't get it. Maybe Triple H didn't accept that. Maybe he wants to run NXT. But that's weird. And by the way, don't get your hopes up. As of right now, there are no plans of Eric Bischoff or Paul Heyman to be on television. So they are going to be in backstage roles. You're not going to see them as general managers. Maybe you will, but that's what I really love to see. Basically, I would love to have like Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff arguing on Monday Night Raw, pretty much saying that you ain't gonna see Roman Reigns on Raw anymore, Heyman. He's going to be SmackDown Live's exclusive. Enough of this wildcard rule. Imagine that. That would be so great. So WWE right now has a perfect opportunity to do that, you know? Why would they want to share superstars? One is on USA Network, another one is on Fox. Why would they share? They want some competition. But like I've said, they are probably going to be just in a backstage role. Anyway, thank you for watching. That's all I wanted to talk about. If you want to support the channel, make sure to click that like button. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, yeah boy, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.